Dumelang rala amogela mo Daily Thetha on SABC 1, being you with one Nakalina Tumelo Mothotoane. Let's talk about every Monday to Thursday. It is our time as the youth. We're taking charge. SABC 1 at 11 a.m. And we're putting the spotlight on a very sensitive topic. Elungore has been hounding South African women, especially ranking. Back in 2008, Kini, there was a young lady she was sexually harassed based on what she was wearing. And this year in 2017, another woman with her child in a taxi being sexually harassed and raped in a moving taxi, of course, by 4 men. So it's really a big story focus today. What needs to be done and what's the relationship between our taxis, the associations, the taxi ranke and South African women?
Kini, Shandu, sinimukele makhaya kwi-Daily Thetha on SABC 1 #BeNewWith1 and namhlanje sikhuluma ngendlela abantu besifazana abahlukumeza ngayo emarenkeni ahlukahlukene. Are we doing enough as umphakathi? Siya protect noma sithule nje siyabuka sithemba ukuthi khona into ezowenzakala. Even after le march abakhona Tumi and government promising us ukuthi khona into ezowenzeka. So kwaba khona noshintsho indlela amatekisi aphatha ngabantu besifazane, even nama gay people as well. Aba brother bethu aba gay nabo bahlukumezeka ematekisini. Funa ukuthola kuwena at home if ngomunye wabantu abahlukumezeka nanokuthi sikhona isimo so phucuka nangendlela nje ukuthi ku-improve la ungakhona. Give us that call on 011-339-1315 or find us on Facebook daily_Thetha and on Twitter @daily_Thetha as well.
Of course, your opinion is very important to us. Make sure you interact, you engage, and you let us know what you thoughts about today's topic, because we need to move forward. We're over 20 years into democracy and still Masadi, they face this problem. And we know taxi is a very, very popular mode of public transport in South Africa, amongst the Gautrain, the bus journaling jona, the Uber journaling jona, the meter taxi. Taxis are still a very, very important, sort of mode of transportation to us. So what needs to be done? Where do we go from here? We need to find out from you and also studio audience members. From our people, how do they get by and make sure this issue is addressed?
And then into sobesibhekisisa namhlanje azibona nakubona taxi driver ukuthi bona ke baphatheka kanjani ngendlela abantu besifazana abanye abaqoqa ngayo emphakathini nangendlela abanye abantu abagay people aba-expressa ngayo emphakathini. So yona into sobesibheka leyo ngena nokuthi umphakathi wona wenzani, because basuke behlukumezeka kusuke nabantu abakhona eceleni. Abanye besabela ukuthi o-taxi driver bebehlangene bebaningi inkinga uzozithola usenkingeni, so begcine bengasakwazanga ukuthi benze something. Let's go to emgwaqeni sizwe abantu bacabanga kanjani. Are we doing enough to protect abantu besifazana, especially emarenkeni asizwe bathina abantu?
I think there are some instances where there's actually been some incidences of being sexually harassed, but because we don't really pay attention to that, I can't really give a direct answer to it. But I remember there was a point in time where I was really wearing a very tight dress, and then when I walked up to the taxi, then some guy that works at the taxi rank, I think they are called taxi marshals or what, they were just saying, "Oh, that dress looks so good on you. It's like I could touch you."
It depends ukuthi ushukuthini sexually harassed, because I'll figure to a point where I feel like, okay, now I'm not safe. But if you're talking about ama remarks, you know how sometimes it has even become into ukuthi bajwayele ukuthi uzothi umudlula basho something, be it you just comfortably wearing into yakho, let's say ngigqoka ingubo, but uzohleze feel I need ukuthi a comment. So in that way, yes, but has it ever dwelt kumina ukuthi ngithi okay, i-taxi rank I'm not safe? No.
Hlale ngibona iyenzeka mangabe abo taxi driver bekhuluma throwing ama nasty comments towards young girls.
Basically it's just verbal things. So they'll just say, "Sawona sisunjani," and they'll start saying, "You my wife." This other time I had an instance where the taxi driver tried to touch my hand. So it's kind of those things where it even gets personal.
There's no need to do that. Why would you do that? We don't feel safe walking around dressing in whatever we want to dress. We don't feel safe doing whatever we want to do, because we feel like wherever we go, some guy's going to say something or someone's going to come and touch me in a way that I don't want to do. And me dressing up in any way is because I feel proud of who I am, not because I want to show off to any guys.
We want to find out exactly bantabala endlini as well. Are we doing enough to just protect abantu besifazane, especially emarenkeni? Angiqala kuwena on my brother ukuthi wena, do you think we are doing enough as umphakathi to protect abantu besifazane emarenkeni? Igama ubani and nosositshela uthini comment yakho about uhlelo namhlanje?
Ngubongani Matsinye, and mina ngokuya ngami ngicabanga ukuthi agenziwa enough.
Yeah.
You understand? As ilili ngomso bengicabanga ukuthi we can come up nama solutions and nama strategies on how to eradicate le ndaba le so.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yini ngempela umphakathi ocabanga ukuthi ungayenza or abo taxi driver ama associations to help abantu besifazane, because kuyadabukisa ukuthi namanje sadila sakhuluma ngendaba enjengale. We're going to 2020, we're going to be talking about indaba enjengale. Sifisa ukuthi ngelilanga singabe sayikhuluma le ndaba address. Yini ocabanga ukuthi umphakathi ungayenza wona?
Umphakathi mina ngicabanga ukuthi kumele ukuthi usebenzisane, you understand, nama taxi drivers ukuthi nabo kumele bafundiswe ukuthi abafazi treatiwa kanjani,
like a workshop.
Yes. Okay. Nomphakathi kumele ubambisane ufundisane on ukuthi bagcoke kanjani kuzo zonke lezi zinto ezinjalo.
Interesting.
Yes.
Let's hear more views. Even from a lady. Can we just have the mic? It's to the lady in the front here. Do you feel safe? Have you ever been in a situation where or and felt you didn't feel safe as Msadi?
Sanbenani igama lami ngunoxolo Tsembei. Well angaze cause eka ubaba umfundisi. So I think the way you dress is the way you address yourself. And then mawuzofika like abo baba banemizwa, not like ayikuthi ngiyaba bayenza ukuthi ba feel it down or what. Like kakhulu i-rape yenzeka kakhulu kubantu abagcoka, cause like ngazwa some friend yami ingitshela ukuthi like the way ngigcoke ngakhona kuzobanzima ukuthi bangirepe because ngizothola usizo lula. Mangigcoka i-jean like nezinye izinto ngaphansi ngithola usizo ukuthi ngithola usizo fast cause kubanzima ukuthi like leyo muntu lo ozongirepa ukuthi uthatha isikhathi cause usazongikhulula phansi izinto eziningi
So what about bana babanyane? What about bana babanyane ba leng gore they're 2 years old, 4 months old? Ba leng gore it's not about clothes but it's the mind of the perpetrator. So Diaparo, are you saying they're a contributing factor for ube raped? Is that what you're saying?
I don't say that, but like ma umuntu omdala uzogcoka that thing, like ufaka umqondo njani kumuntu? Ufaka ukuthi awurespecteki.
I'm trying to get to the point uTumate buza wona again ukuthi ngendlela umuntu agqoke ngayo so nayo uya attract indlela athithwa ngayo abantu.
Yes, that's true, because like ma uzogcoka isuit uya respecteka yabona. Ma uhamba estradeni bayasho ukuthi okay, that's the businessman or whoever you are.
Who disagrees? Is there anybody else who disagrees with that point? Can we just move the mic? Perhaps let's just give it to the gentleman, Mopele in front, and then we'll come back to you, my lady, again. What do you think of you, Yakhorabana? They treat women based on kamkhobapering. Is that the case?
Yeah.
Mic, Papa.
Igama ngithulu ngwakazanda. Ngicabanga ukuthi indlela ogqoke ngayo ngiyavumelana nosisi. Indlela ogqoke ngayo ngicabanga ukuthi indlela umuntu akubheka ngayo. Ngoba eshilo njena nje uma ugqoke isuit umuntu ukubeka ezingeni lomfundisi noma ezingeni businessman thile, uyabona? Uma uza kimi mhlawumbe uza erenkeni ufake iskirt, mini skirt. Obvious ma undlula lapho nami amehlo ayalandela ngithi.
And utaxi driver wena?
Yeah.
Okay.
Obvious ma undlula lapho amehlo azolandela. Uyezwa? Gokuthena kungaphakathi.
So
uyezwa?
By ukudlula kamehlo meaning ukuthi you need to say something again or umharass or whatever.
No, akusikho ukuharasa.
Okay.
Ngiyabuka. Kungenzeka ngithule. Kungenzeka omunye aphawule.
Okay.
Indlela mhlawumbe ogqoke ngayo. Kodwa ngiseza ephuzini likasise lokuthi indlela ogqoke ngayo yindlela obukeka ngayo.
All right. Well, Rutloba Moena, because you're part of the show and Rutloba learn about Tabelo Khono. But fela ga aribone go tlhagang on our social media pages. What do you think about topic ya Khono regarding, the scourge gore most women do find themselves, of course, being harassed go taxi ranking and of course also allegedly and reportedly by taxi drivers. Aribone go tlhagang on Twitter. We have a tweet here is from event or at Delhi Thetha, women are flowers. They are beautiful whether wearing decent or not. Harassers are sick, not women. And of course, their dress code, I assume. Well, okay, that's what we want to find out. Make sure you call us when we come back. It's 011-339-1315. We'll about the issue. Yabasadi being harassed. What do you think? We'll be right back. Bala amogela lebeletse daily Thetha gona mo gae mo SABC 1 le kgono le re bolela about taba ya di taxi rankeng le gore go tlhaga eng ka gare ga di taxi tša rena against basadi ba Afrika Borwa. We've heard so many incidents coming from gore ba reporta go taxi driver ba harasa go apere seqepezane ko taxi rankeng ba o harasa ba botsa gore wa apere seqepezane ko taxi rankeng wa apere so in public ba bang unfortunately ba rape ko di taxing or even in a moving taxi like we saw this year of a woman o leng gore was raped by 4 men in a moving taxi. So in our society for such things to happen, what can we do rather or remove forward avoiding such incidents, but also invite members of the taxi association, the taxi drivers themselves from Pono Yabona, what do they think is the problem and how can we all work together to stop this? Well, give us a call on 011 339 1315 or so that we can all of course be a part of the conversation.
And then after that march kakhulu kwenzakalani and khona isimo saka sa improve as well. One find out as well from Isonke Gender Justice as well which bathini about this. We do have unaye Manetha naye usisu unonhlanhla sikhosana abasivakashele njengamanje naye Manetha ngomunye wabantu owahlukumeza kakhulu e taxi rank.
Yeah.
Kukhona umehluko sobonile wenzakala after that march yabakhona?
No, I think I don't know why, but I think kuko lento in men that makes them think that they have some kind of dominance over women or that, they can control our safety and how safe you feel.
Yeah.
So you're either safe with me next to you or I'm not next to you and then you risk, being on your own. It's almost if the safety that they bring you comes with conditions. And I personally haven't seen a difference because I use public transport every day.
Yeah.
And in Nobandipi now, whether I'm in Germiston or Ganye, like in town, it's the same treatment over and over. And for me, it's not even a thing of how you dress because I know when I leave home and just husbands have been let down, I always tell myself, okay, dress, fully. Make sure you're not like kind of exposing yourself.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make a difference because your jeans are too tight, your top shows your shoulder. You're always asking for it.
Now you're about treatment. What's the experience of taxi rank? What happened to you?
It was actually Park Station.
Park Station, okay.
I was walking through, catching a taxi to home, and I had some bags. And so this driver comes to me, or I don't know if he's a marshal or driver, but you know how they chill around the taxi?
Right, yeah.
And as I'm walking past, a couple of them holler, whatever, and I keep walking. So one follows me and, he says, can I help you with your bag? And I'm like, no, I know where I'm going, I'm fine. And he insists, and I'm like, but I'm fine. Then he says to me, Amanda Mazanafana na waya rechwa up. And I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you go around just saying that to women? And I was like, you can't just say that to me. He was like, well, I'm just saying or something like that. And I was like, no, right, I walk here every day, I can get there by myself. And so he said, it's either he walks with me and I'm safe, or he leaves me and he's gonna let what has to happen to me happen.
Yeah.
Wow. Did anything happen?
No, I just kept walking really fast, and trying to make sure I could see who I could run to.
Yeah.
But he was like pulling on my bag and like trying to force to walk with me and insinuating that like if he didn't walk with me then.
Wow.
Sisinonhlanhla esimene njengalesi Sonke nithini esimene njengalesi? What's your stand esimene whereby abantu besifazane sizwe itori njengalezi? We were reading about this as well last week, something that happened in Monyo as well. Kwenzakalani?
Ezisonke Gender Justice into eyenze ukuthi size siqale i-Safe Ride campaign indaba esifana nelezi usisasitshela ngazo because abantu bacabanga ukuthi indaba nje ezenziwayo, it's a story that abantu bazenzela sona but it's a reality. Siney'tori eziningi esingazikhuluma abantu besifazane bezakithi basho ukuthi banenkinga efana nale. So sabona ukuthi kufanele ukuthi sina njengesonke senze okuthile. So we approach Santako and say we need a partnership nani. Kufanele ukuthi lento le si address singayenzi ngathi ayenzakali. You really don't need to turn a blind eye on this. But fortunately, we were open to discuss this issue with us, and then we started a Safe Ride campaign. We've got a video we on the website that is about a woman obekade next happy atuthola umsebenzi. Fanele ngene ngo6 o'clock. U-taxi driver lo muntu efanele ukuthi ngabe uyomisa emsebenzini wamthatha wamisa esigangeni wafike wamlimaza wasemaqeda ukumlimaza wamrape So uyabona ukuthi abantu besifazane esikhathini esiningi impilo yabo bayibeke ezandleni zama-taxi driver. So sistate i-Safe Ride campaign ukuthi asike sihlangane nabo-taxi driver, nama-taxi owner, nama-taxi association, even the leadership within iSantago itself ukuthi si-addresse le issue. Sesihambile saye Western Cape, sayilontsha, saye KZN, sayilontsha. Siyazizwa futhi indaba efana nokuthi athi umuntu wesifazane akufanelanga agqoke kanje, fanele agqoke kanje, akufanelanga ukuthi enze kanje. Into engicela kubo taxi driver kakhulu ukuthi mabazwisise namadoda in general. Umuntu wesifazane uwumuntu, it's a human being. So une right njengoba nawe une right yokuthi mawuvuke ekseni kubhlungu imangilalela usisi athi kufanele agqoke i-tight, afake i-jean, because ukuvuka kwakhe ekseni into oqala eringa ingqondo yakhe yini ngizorage. Is it fair?
Sizokhuluma more about that, Mama, and ngithola okuningi njengamanje. Tumi was talking about 2008 isehlakala April. I believe online right now we do have someone unwabisa Ngcukana. Nwabisa Ngcukana, welcome to Daily Thetha on SABC1.
Mfangonani nizani?
Sikhona kakhulu sisi, wena unjani wena?
Ngiyaphila.
Nwabisa, ake singene esehla kwenzakalani kuwena kahle kahle ngo 2008 let's kuba safunde emaphepheni just to get your side of the story kahle kahle.
Okay, fine. I was traveling to a wine bed. Unfortunately, ngangigqoka ibhebheza nayo ngoba ngabe kuyinto kuyinkinga kakhulu. Ngizodlula bafana ngiconnect taxi North taxi rank. So ngathi mangehle taxini kwaba khona omunye wathi uzodlula North ugcoke so. Because nake nginalenkanyana engekho yefile ngathi anyeke baze bangenze next ngizobabonisa. Ngebhadi ngingakafiki ngani ukufika le futhi taxi rank ngoba bese ukuqala sokulilizela abomama abantu besifazane la abathengisayo khona la emasayidini. But melilizela babathola attention to abantu base taxi rank. Baqala ke ngamaqhelo bese bayasondela ngabe ngathi ngesikhathi leso ngiyahlukumezeka ngoba ngigcokele ukugcokile. Kanti leyo ngakwazi ukuthi ngizilwele ama security angithatha yomfake kulokhu security lokhunjana room yabo. But still abantu bamatekisi babemile lapha ngaphandle bathi angeke ngize ngiphume as long as ngizobe ngisafake leso skate leso. So my friends had to ukuthi bahambe bayongithengela iprobelito so that I can be able to walk out because bakulindile ngaphandle.
So wavalelwa kule ndawo yama security kwazo abangani bakho bakuthengela ibhuluko ukuze ukwazi ukuqhubeka nohambo lakho?
Yebo. Ngoba bethe nje ngize ngiphume nje lapha.
Sure. And Nwabisa o bolela gore attention it immediately seke basadi ba ne ba rekisang ka mo masaiting ka mo di taxing. Did you feel betrayed because ke basadi and ba draw attention to mosadi o mongwe gora ke bo mme ba bagolo?
You feel betrayed if ukuthi abantu obabheka as abomama, abosisi bakho would be the one who initiate such thing. I understand. And we uzibheka ukuthi mhlambe yibo mhlambe abazokuthatha abaqoqe bakufihle njengengane but kube yibo futhi ababuye bakujikele. We understand. Kwakuyilanga libhlungu kabi ngoba kwenzeka izinto eziningi kakhulu engingacabanga ukuthi izozenzakale nokuthi abantu abangizalayo bangaze bangijikele nabantu akumele bangitransporte bangaze bangijikele. And the third part is amatekisi we connect ematekisini to get to certain places.
Oh, yes.
You cannot expect me ukuthi mangithi ngiya eParkini, like for example ngiya eNSP Park, I need to connect to North. Finally ngiyakhona ngifaka amatshali ngizibhinqile because ngiyeParkini I need to wear something comfortable, a short because ngiyeParkini. So if ukuthi ngizohluleka ukuthi ngigqokele into le just because ngiyasaba ukuthi la ngiyoconnecta khona ku mode of transport yami ngaze ngihlukunyezwe, it's another thing. And we live in a free country. We need to exercise our rights with. And you cannot be dictated to go to file as program, file as not in.
So Nwabisa, in closing nje mama, a quick one. After yonke lento yenzakalayo yinto ayifundayo or indlela approach yakhe yaserenki sihlukile kwenzakalani kuwena? What we lesson wayithatha out of this?
Angengifuna nje ukuqamba banga ngitshela ukuthi approach yami yenze njani. I don't even bother going to a taxi rank because I've got friends abane moto, we've got Taxify, we've got the Uber. So there's no way I'm going back there, and I don't even care what they think. But at the end of the day, they need to know what we are human. At the end of the day, file bas protect. If I squash even if you Uber, it's expensive, it's fine, we'll pay because are cheap. You at the end of the day. They must respect our money, they must respect it, and they must respect us.
Wow. Okay, siyabonga kakhulu sisibonga nangombono wakho ne. Siyabonga kakhulu. Ubukela iDaily Thetha on SABC 1 #BeNewWith1 sikhuluma about ukuhlungubeza kwabantu besifazane emateksini nanokuthi umphakathi wenzani about this. Give us a call on 011-339-1315. Siyabuya after this.
Sexual harassment and sexual violence that women are experiencing. There was one case that happened in Phosphorus. She got into a taxi thinking that she would be safe to work.
I'm really happy because usually taxi driver one taxi. Kimo ke one day hi but u yapi ha motho a tshule a vele a speed taxi a speed taxi athi ko re etsa fast a eme fast ka mnyango ke skatswa am press ke re ke sa mo scream a ntshwa ke lelo nya ka se kana hana go tshina ke tlo ba wana batho ba tla re rape and kill a gone ke nya. Luckily, he uhlaya Metropolis. Director luckily
you just wonder, why should another human being do this to another human being? It is enough. We need to do something about it. We need to engage the taxi industry.
We had a problem whereby women were never respected in this industry with what was happening at Bree Street taxi rank a few years ago with a lady who was wearing a miniskirt and that lady was harassed. We began to take a responsibility that we are a civil society organization. Sonke Gender Justice and Santaku, we are able to address societal problems, and I am very happy to indicate that I can see the change of mindset.
Ngale ukusebenza ngo-2013 taxi industry and ndisebenza njengomuntu oyi-community worker. Unobangela okokuba kubekho le meko yokuba aqale kubona abantu abangomama ufike behlukunyezwe bekhwazwa thina madoda kwesikweli xesha likhoyo siye sibone uba xa abantu abangomama ngabantu bokuxhatshazwa okanye ngabantu abaxa banxibe iziketi ezifutshane ngabantu abafuna amadoda. Uba umntu engakwazi uyithatha le nto ayithatha ayijongisa apha kuye, if umuntu akayithathe le nto ayenzayo phaa kubantu abangomama phaa esitratweni ayithatha ayijongise kumzali wakhe okanye ayijongise kumntana wakhe, yena angaqala ayibone uba no le nto ayikho rayithi emotweni. Kodwa xa kuqale thina abantu bangootata abaqhuba imoto then naba lapha emotweni abazibahlonipha abantu, but bababona uba thina siyatshintsha then ihlabathi yonke lingatshintshi. Ewe noko lukhona utshintsho naxa njalo kandigqibelele uba kusafuneka kwenza umsebenzi omninzi.
Then libonisa le ukuyaba lifonela kore libonisa le itse ha litla gona.
Sahleli nathi ekhaya kwi-Daily Thetha on SABC1 #BeNewWith1 sibonga kakhulu kwisonke gender justice ngale clip esiyibona njengamanje besicakisela ukuthi nge-safe ride nanokuthi imayelana nani kwenzakalani and besikhluma ke nama-victims ahlumeza kakhulu ema-taxi rankini ahlukahlukene and njengamanje sifuna ukubona umzwa nombono wabo taxi drivers as well ukuthi bona bathini about this whole thing.
Well, Kini, we were also joined in studio by Untlantla Mtaung, Les Babone Zungu, Balungor, of course, by driver takes Johannesburg, but one of the experiences Chabolake. Gentle brothers, Rala Amorela, thank you so much for what I'm deleted. Arab Lelenka, I think the first thing before Gena Momo the incident study sexual harassment could taxi ranking. Or one of this perception yagore, the taxi driver. Badula in their own bubble, banale milaw ya bona and constitution yalona ha itshwanile ya freedom charter.
If it drive
ya Mzansi Nelson Mandela ayilotsi. Yalona is totally different on the road and wonke umuntu must just nje go with you and accept.
Understand.
Is it the case Nhlanhla?
No, nginibingelele. Unhlanhla lona umntawo ngisibonga. And then drive takes I think started back in 2003. Yes, until namhlanje ne. Yeah, well hayi ukuthi sinemthetho yethu esibeka urusenzana mama yabona. Yeah. Thina sinomthetho esinikwa yona. Siya address like everyone else mama ne. Yes, sinama laws and everything nama conditions okusebenza ukuyiphatha nje before ufika kulasha abantu. Mele ugeze, uchange every day ube need to be clean mama. Yes.
So umuntu akuze kubuya. Sibabona akuze kubuya. So umuntu nayo i-right ukuthi mhlawumbe ngacomplain ama ukuthi awugezanga as a taxi driver.
Sorry.
Ngiyabingelela nami igama yami ngisibabona ngawazungu. Ya nami ngishela itekisi kusukela ngo2007 ngishela itekisi. Njengoba umfowethu esho umntawo ukuthi nathi sinemthetho esisebenza ngaphasi kwayo. Futhi esikwenza sikwenza ngaphasi kwemthetho. Futhi umuntu sinendawo yokukompelela yakhe i-office lethu ukuthi if khona lapho ungaphathekile kahle khona etaxini ulilungelo ukuthi even ikhona into esibiza ngedeka ne ema-taxini wethu inama number wase officeini uyakhona ukuthi ureport back e-officeini then uyasho ukuthi kwenzakalani nge-taxi ekanjalo
ukuthi behamba muphi umzila nesticker sakho na SABC. Asibele back to the issue ke yokuhlumeza kwabantu besifazane emarenkeni. Guys, angicabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe into esusele ekhanda sibonile sifundile ngamaphepheni sizwile nabantu ade becomplain bekhuluma ngayo. Why abantu besifazane behlukumeza kangaka especially ema-taxini emarenkeni?
Buthi ngiphendule lo mbuzo kancane nje. Kulama incidents ayiqiniso mfethu. Into ezenzakalayo siyazibona. But yazi abantu abayi-50 to 70 even if si2 or 3 ngeke sibastop benza into wrong. Sometimes uyabukela nje uzithulele. But then after kwenzeka incident I think noma unyaka ngikhumbule ka 2008 or 9 leyo nje ngiyayazi. Futhi ngayibona yabona. But ke labo bhuti ukuthi usisi it's unfortunate ukuthi shoot azange follow up ayenze lo waphazamiseka naye. Ngale inkulumo zalo mfethu sayithola shoot leyo report. Yabo maybe sisters beyangazi ukuthi okay umuntu mayenza so ubheka le moto abakuyo ubheka isticker and take the number yabona because inumber ihlukanisa ama office sino ibuilding enkulu yabona so sometimes ufana registration ureporta mhlambe ku association yaseGemiston kanti lo muntu okonile umuntu wasethembisa but ngoba base taxi rank sibaningi phakathi yabona so kanjalo uyalahleka noma umuntu wenza follow up ubuye kimi uthi yazi ngenza so angimazi lo muntu ukuthi uzomreporta kimi kanti maybe umuntu wale ethembisa yabona so the number kwisticker sibalekile but that number ye office directed le ukhumbu uthatha registration and that number uyathola if ufonela lapha lama culprits azobanjwa.
You know, I think what's said kanto Blanka Nhlanhla gore motho o lengore ke victim ka mo situation ore sometimes or most of the time re ke le harass ko taxing batho ba lebella ba tshaba o thusa. Luna as the taxi driver le rona re tshaba o thusa because ke batho ba 50 rona re 2. So it seems like both sides go na le problem. Why let's about to say le bona ka me batla overpower if motho mongwe or bona ka you'll be overpowered if wa bua go no. I know gore ke 1 out of 50 men baba participating mar wrong and we can't do this.
No, yes man, back then because neresina a way of dealing with this thing yabo. Nere sheba felo rise lo nakusayitsa next even if anga police station mina uzoshuta lo putha yenzanga next. But now sinendlela esitila ngayo mama. We are trying by all means because siphila ngabo labo sisi. Uyabona. This is my bread and butter, this is my children's future, even mine wabona. But so if ngihlukumeza yena my brother ngeke ngikwazi ukuthenga ibrand pack ntamba. But ifanga sisi. So kancane ukuthi kule yakho sisi ngikuphendule kancane. Before ngoba besingazi ukuthi senza njani ngabo sesiyazi manje ukuthi abantu abenza leyo nto sesibathi phanisha ngayiphi indlela. Even nathi before ifika ku association ifika kubuthina esabo drive masikubonile uyenza leyo nto we deal with you there and there yabona siyakwazi nokukumisa ungalayishi nje until owner yakho ibuya isort out le mess yabona because the other day babamba umunye usisi ne and luckily wababonakala but masithola into yababhlunga kithi ikakhulukazi abashayeli bamatekisi singasabala ama own it was so bad ukuthi leyo taxi yabanjwa labantu bebahamba ngayo abarenki ayina stick akusaba taxi driver akusaba queue marshal but bebase taxi rank doing their deed lapho baroba abantu bathatha izinto ne so sezwe nje umuntu amemeza kwavala hawu yini naba bo taxi driver queue marshal sabona yini bayazi mangangele erenkini mina ngizohamba ngishiye blame nabo taxi driver.
I see.
Yes. Ayisibona ufuna ukukhuluma.
Ile nje nami ebengifuna ukucacisa ukuthi yabona like i-rank. I-rank inkulu i-rank yabona. So ke erenkeni kunabantu abathengisayo kunabantu especially nabantu abagula ngekhanda vele bagula erenkeni ngoba erenkeni vele zakhipha vakuyadliwa erenkeni sidla kudliwa every time.
Sibabone.
Yabo. So manje uthi kufika nje isikhotheje from nowhere. Mafika erenkeni enze izinto ezirong ngegama yani ukuthi kwenzeka leyo so erenkeni yabona. Especially kubosisi njengathi nje thina ama-taxi driver vele abosisi nabayazi ukuthi abantu bethu sibaphatha soft funa abasithanda
halala
abosisi
halala
and then ithina esibavikelayo kahle kahle osisi yabona thina owethu sisi if kuyinto enginayo ngaphakathi ngikhuluma nayo ngoba kusuke kusemini enye okusemqoka kufeni kwazi lapha so yapha sisemsebenzini.
All right so bona ari tshwara gona mo re papa tjong re kwele ba tshwara soft mara nna the last time ke palama taxi ke bitso my size ba bona you must explain gore my size ke batla o tsebe. All right ge a re papa song ra boya after this. Liberty Daily Thetha gona mo SABC 1 Big You with One we are putting the spotlight on the incidents unfortunately in the hands of course of the taxi driver in South Africa and also the taxi ranking also of course just in general in public and of course you know the taxi drivers basadi ne bantse batla ba complain gore ba feel safe le ka lotse ba di apereng even ka mkhoba address wang ka gone ke boletse before the ad break gore le nne re bitso di my size I guess what my size ke mara bontla ba tshepiso ba tla ntlhalosetsa ka mo saiteng gore e mina eng my size mara fela a re go gore Jabu on the line o reng hello Jabu
yebo njani
sephilo njani buti
siyaphila sifana
yebo
ngicela ukubonga nje lethuba lelo ngilitholile khona manje ebengithanda ukusho nje ukuthi kubhlungu ngoba i-topic iphelela nje ema-taxi rank kuphela ayilulo nasemakhoneni la emakhoneni i-trading la odadewethu la abadlula khona mabehamba estradini okunye futhi ebengithanda ukuphonsa nje ukuthi yebo wonke umuntu unawo amalungelo kodwa kumele sikhumbule nokuthi kumele ube responsible for amalungelo akho ngoba mangisho kanjalo ngizokwenzela example angeke ushiye indlu yakho uyivulile ngoba uthemba ukuthi uyazi unamalungelo ukuthi akekho umuntu ozongenela ngoba bazongena bathathe yonke into endlini bese usala wena usuyakhala emuva yebo lona so into ebengizama ukuyichaza ukuthi yebo amalungelo mahle sinawo sonke la eMzansi kodwa kumele sibe responsible ngiyabona ukuthi kubi la ngaphandle uyazi ukuthi ebusuku uma uhamba uzobadla inkunzi mangabe uhamba uyedwa ebusuku endaweni eminyama futhi ngamanye amagama kumele thina nathi masabantu sizibheke awudadewethu bacabange mabegqoka ukuthi ngoba bayazi noma even nezalukazi ziyadlwengulwa kodwa kumele kube safe uma umuntu wazi ukuthi ngoba uyabona ukuthi izwe limoshekele kangakanani awuzama ukuthi uzama ukugqoka ngokuyiphatha you understand ukuthi unga-invite trouble yebo siyazi izofika trouble but uzame nawo ngawo wonke amandla ukuthi ungazifakeli trouble.
Yeah. Okare Jabulani taba ya diaparo ka it's a serious one because it keeps popping up hore ntho ya pering ke yone ya tractang ka mgo batho ba treatang ka gona. What about the perpetrator? Go tlhageng in terms of rehabilitation of batho ba leng gore ba hijack dintlo tsa batho ba tshwara batho nkunzi ko strateng ba harasa bosese ba rena ko strateng based on gore ba pereng because o boletse le nae gore lo ka para jean e tla ba still tla ba too tight.
No ngiyakuzwa lokho sisapho ingakho ngithi ukhumbule ukuthi i-freedom lesinayo ihamba ne-responsibility and real responsibility abantu abaningi abawazi abafunda anikho kwi-caliber efanayo amanye abantu ngoba ukhona omunye umuntu make ebona umuntu ephethe imali ubona nje ukuthi amthathele imali uyayibona lo
All right,
so
Job.
uma umuntu umele ukhumbule ukuthi awuhambi wedwa ngendlela ucabanga ngayo wonke umuntu ucabanga ngale ndlela ucabanga ngayo angeke ucabanga ngokufana
All right, Jabulani.
Uyayibona
Thank you so
lo?
much.
So kumele
Ngiyabonga.
ube prepared uma umuntu
All right, Jabu.
Into
Thank you so much for your call.
engizama ukuyichaza leyo.
All right,
Okay, be
siyabonga.
careful.
Thank you so much, Buti.
Siyabonga kakhulu Jabulani, and masikhuluma about le issue le ngeke sikwazi ungafaka ama organization akwazi ukuthi asize managing ngalesi because we have Untateliwe from Santaco sikumukele kwe Daily Thetha baba as well as Fumani as well. I just want to find out from you guys ukuthi ama organization anjengala manizwa lezi stories zama crime kwenzakala kanjena abantu bahlukumeza emarenkeni, what do you guys do? Ngaqala kwena.
Okay, ngizaqala ngibulele ithuba silifumene. Mina igama lami ngifumene kulesoma, ngiphuma kwiLingomso Taxi Drivers Organization.
Yes.
Organization entsha isiqalo sayo ithe yajonga ineeds zo driver. And then sabuzisa ukuthi ku driver baphatheka kanjani ngoba funeka uqala xa sesizongena kuyo yona topic le siphethe namhlanje. Sifuna ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi u driver wanelisekile na yena ngaphakathi as u taxi driver. U recognize as one of the employees in South Africa. Then if singaqala lapho siqedeleyo ukuthi okay u driver uyajabula ukuthi uyasebenza. Then inkinga ezike ngoku esizifumanayo ezafana nama sexual harassments. Sizawuthanda ukuthi nibulele o driver ebelapha esitulweni.
Yes.
Ngoba bayichazile kabanzi ukuthi e-taxi rank akusingo taxi driver kuphela abaphayana. Gcwele nje bonke abantu. And then emva kwalokho iba ngathi ngabo ebenza izinto zimbi. So thina si organization yintsha yokuthi sizomela sizo-improve, si-uplift and then sibhetha ne-standards zabo taxi driver.
All right. After the Untateliwe, le Santaco re mereko le nakeng go make sure gore le hlokomela batho ba leng gore ba shumisha di taxi, especially basadi and le also le di taxi driver le berekishana le bona.
Okay, a ke dumedise ke Loeto Seriba from Santaco. Ke tla re yana mo issuing ya taxi drivers relationship ya bone le rona even customers. It's so important to us as Santaco to a level whereby in 2015 at the end of the transport month, the president of Santaco, he said to the Minister of Transport and Mrs. Dipuo Peters, Minister, we have been doing at Santaco, but we have not been doing enough. For simple reason, we always have meetings with the owners at the taxi, but that from the noise area the taxis and taxis. I have not done enough as the president of Santaco, Mr. Philip Taibos. I have not met with drivers. And those are the most important people in our industry because when you talk of a taxi, if it is stop sign, when you talk of a taxi, harassite moto, you talk of a taxi driver. But for us as Santaco National Office, we are going to embark Abuaka 2015 October on meeting the drivers, talking to the drivers, which of course he did. He went all 9 provinces and met the driver. Unfortunately, he couldn't meet all the drivers in province. Who organized a group from the associations to come in Abuele to indicate to them how important are they, how they are ambassadors of our taxi industry. And for them, if they don't conduct themselves in a manner, it's good. They are affecting the taxi industry. Now, after having met all those provinces drivers, we went out, which I'm part of the team, we went out to, he started to establish a program where he said, for us to be able to educate the drivers, because they are so important, he went out to sponsors to say, can you help us? We want to bring drivers on board. They must understand their responsibility and they must understand themselves how important are them to the commuter. And they must understand the commuter, they are friends. Then he got sponsors. We got sponsors to say we are doing what we call Taxi Driver of the Year. Why Taxi Driver of the Year? We went to provinces to say drivers educate. How do we educate them?
I think education is important, especially because if the incidents that are still going on. Mosadi o rapiwa ka mo taxing ngwana a lebeletse. It's really a problem. What measures can a woman take? Kaka situation so are there things in place mosadi a ka di dira, you know, go reporter a case like this, practical incidents? If motho o lebeletse go ga gore this happened to me maobane mara a ke tsebe gore ke kae a ka dirang?
He re ka fitlhela mo re tla kopa gore le mphakati re berekisane gore re kgone fenya ntwa re ska sheba gore okay ka gore ho irahetse and then ne le mang na shebile a thusa sepe tshwantse re berekisane re mphakati and then ke ka mkho ke bonang o ka re ka ifenya ntwa.
To me, I'm sure umuntu uyafunda kakhulu kule simo sanamhlanje as well at home now uma ukuthi ngomunye wabantu abahlukumezeka e-taxi rank wahlukumezana mhlawumbe wagcina ungasazi nanokuthi uyephi usizo uzothola kuphi sifonele as well siza ukuthi isitori sakho simi kanjani maybe abanye bo-taxi driver balalele njengamanje bengakwazi ukuthi bakuyalele ukuthi masusesimene ezinjengalezi uhamba kanjani imigudane lezokwazi ukuthi kusize ngelinye ilanga ingaphinde kwehlakala into cishe ifana bukela iDaily Thetha on SABC 1 #BeNewWith1.
Welcome back, Liberty Daily Thetha. One of my SABC 1, we are of course discussing about sexual harassment against women by taxi drivers, under the hands of taxi drivers. Likodi taxi ranking, or what can we do? How can we work together? You know, the organizations, Gender Justice, Santako, as well as our taxi drivers, taxi owners, the greater community, making sure everyone is safe. All right, we have a call in the line. Welcome. Welcome, caller. Rono, okay?
Ngiyaphila ukhuluma noPhilani Boxburg.
King comment yakho papa.
Mina comment yami isekuthenini abantu besifazana indlela abaqoka ngayo fisa ayicha. Uma uzogqoka isigabhezana expect ukuthi wena abantu behlompe kanjani. Yebo ngiyezwa iphuzu kaba ukuthi baya educate ama taxi drivers. Yes, you can educate them. Now uyazi ukuthi uma ngabe mhlawumbe ufuna ukubamba inkukhu, uyibamba ngani, ufaka umbila phansi, izosondela udle. That's the point lapho abantu besifazana abayenzayo. Ngeke ugqoke isigabhezana uzohamba in public. Ungagqoka mawusekhaya kwakho, hayi in public. And then even if they blame iya kubo taxi drivers.
So
no.
So Thulani uthi ngokwakhona bayecelela ukuhlukumenyezwa labantu besifazana abasuke bese taxi rank ngendlela abagqoke ngayo.
Mina ngombono wami futhi kunjalo if uzophuma endlini wona ugqoke isigabhezana expect 10. At least change i-dress code uzohamba in public.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tulani. Arfe, my lady there, you're holding the mic. What do you think about commenter Tulani?
It's not about ukuthi ugcoka kanjani. I mean, mawungabheka back in the days, abantu bebangagqoki bagcoka bebahamba ngamabele and then abantu bebakhona ukuba approach kahle ukuthi intombi umuhle. But then manje bayakharasa even though ugcoke into right ungavezanga amathanga ugcoke just skinny jeans sakho but then still basakharasa. Why is that? So it's not about ukuthi the way ugcoka ngakhona but the way abantu basiphatha ngakhona. It's not about akusama taxi driver kuphela bayenza such things. Nabafana nje in general banokuthi uzigcokele nje umuntu akharasi for the way ume ngakhona or the way ugcoke ngakhona. So indaba issue yokuthi ugcoke kanjani akusukuthi kumele bakharasi.
My brother, I think we have a comment kasi njengamanje. Phamsi microphone.
Yeah, ngicabanga ukuthi usisi uqinisile. Futhi ngiyathanda amagama akhe ukuthi akusibo o taxi driver bodwa abahlukume abenza lento. Abantu besilisa nje bonke. Ngisacela nje ukuchaza lana njengo driver. Okuqala o taxi driver babukeka ngenye indlela. Ngicabanga ukuthi into engasisiza njengomphakathi. Sibuke o taxi driver ngenye indlela differently.
Yiphi lo ndlela?
Okuqala nje into uma ubuka o taxi driver uyamenyeza. Ubuka umuntu ongafundile, umuntu onjani, umuntu onjani. Angithi? Kungakho izinto ezimbi zonke zilinka kubo o taxi driver. Kanti ke uma singabuka u taxi driver njengawo onke umuntu osebenzayo ngoba ngisuke ngisemsebenzini mangishayela itekisi. Angithi? Uma singawubuka njengamanje sikhuluma ngale topic. Sibhese ko taxi driver. Kodwa umuntu orepayo noma ohlukumeza umuntu wesifazana umuntu wesilisa hayi u taxi driver. Indaba ye rap it's about umuntu wesilisa nomuntu wesifazana. But manje siyilinka kwi taxi driver ngani ngendlela esibabuka ngayo taxi driver.
Interesting. Thank you so much for commenting. Are there the last comments in terms of how move forward? What help is there and what should be done moving forward? Because I'm hoping next time we won't be calling to say we're still talking about this 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line.
Uyabona thina silingomso organization yawo taxi driver. Sine plans ezokuthi from objectives zethu sizobuild ama training centers. Ama workshops. Ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sibuyise ingqondo yabo taxi driver. From lento ibuya kumfethu ubongani ukuthi umphakathi mayibona taxi driver unobona nje umuntu ongena ngqondo. So lama workshops la siwa planile ukuthi sizohlanganisa umphakathi. Sizomema umphakathi ama passenger other road users bahlale endaweni eyodwa. Bahlanganisane amakhanda wabo.
Okay.
And then bakhona accept u taxi driver back.
Okay, Buti. Thank you so much.
In closing, sitholile kwesinye isikhathi akubona taxi driver abahlukumeza abantu but abantu abaserenk. Let's say now like usisi was telling us a story ukuthi Q Marshal or somebody wamhlukumeza. Q Marshal akahambe nestika setekisi ukuthi ngizombona wayiphi taxi and akekho futhi etaxini phakathi but uhlukumezeke khona erenk. What ngenza njani esimene sijikanisa?
Briefly please.
Before, what I can do, bring to the attention Yompagat is that, one of driver Uchilogote taxi rank is not only a driver who is there, it's everybody. And in most cases, when something happens in the taxi rank, it's not driver. No group of drivers can go to a passenger and attack. That one I say absolutely no. You find people who are selling drugs, who are doing everything. And what is a problem to us as the organization? We have not been given the right of the taxi rank. The taxi rank still falls under the municipality. Therefore, we complain to say we want to move all those people about right and wrong. But we were told that it's not our property, that taxi rank. We are there to use it, not to own it. Hence now we have to look into it in the sense of the municipality must come on board to say how does he help us as the taxi industry. I still repeat, taxi drivers, they are people they think well, they are right, they are from the community. But when in this competition, we bring a taxi driver and a passenger. We say, when we see a taxi running there are two people inside and they are fighting. And then those two people, while they are fighting, we have to build a relationship between the two.
Yes.
Now, moving forward, another issue is that, not all the taxis is born out almost combi type vehicle is a taxi. Some are privately used in most, and they are involved in those wrong things. Some are scholar transport after dropping the school kids. They are going to do all funny things.
That is so true.
We have a disciplinary committee on all associations to take disciplinary measures against drivers who do wrong.
Unfortunately, thank you so much for Monaco.
Okay, but I just want to say quickly, ke kopa gore ko di taxing ntate ko Santako a re dilele di taxi drivers ba rapang bomme because we have cases sejwalo a re dileng le tsona, and if go etsagala gore o experience rape, please ya go to Thuthuzela Care Center. Ki one-stop facility for rape survivors. It's free. Okreya Thuso, counseling, medical treatment, everything in one area. If Husna Thuthuzela Care Center in your area, go victim empowerment officer. In the nearest police station, demand to talk to a victim empowerment officer. Then you will need help. You will really get help.
Thank you so much.
Sibonga kakhulu bukele iTelithetha no SABC1 #BeNewWith1 sithemba ukuthi uhlelo namhlanje kuningi okufundile kulona.
Well, Kini, I think we need to also change this perception about gore ntho ya pering ke yona e leng gore ya tractor ntho tsempiko wena. Bana ba rapiwa in South Africa ba sa dirang selo. Innocent young children, innocent young babies. So what do they say? Is it because ba pere something e leng gore it triggered that in the mind? Let's change how we view our fellow sisters. They're human beings. Thank you so much, South Africa. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.